Sean Michael Cox. He's the Director of Academic Affairs and International Programs at Bahcesehir University, and he joins me in the studio. Thank you for joining me today. How significant of a moment is this? This is only the third time in U.S. history in 243 years that a U.S. president has been impeached.
Well, obviously, it's quite significant because, as you pointed out, it's such a rare event, a rare circumstance to happen in United States history. Ultimately, however, though, it's not going to probably lead to where the Democrats want, and to see him convicted of the charges brought against him in his impeachment. Impeachment is one thing. The next step is the trial, which is a completely different thing. And that is wide open right now.
Do you think that this has had an impact on Trump's legacy or his reputation? Because the president is clearly angered by the whole impeachment process, so he understands the seriousness of it, as I think most Americans do. But given the state of politics in America these days, it seems like Trump supporters will support him no matter what, as will Republicans, and then vice versa.
It has definitely impacted his legacy. He will not lose any support from his diehard base, that's for sure. And the Republican Party has hitched their wagon to his horse, so they will stick with him throughout this. But yes, in decades and years down the road, in the history books, only the third president to be impeached, it will definitely have an impact. There's no real practical effect of that, though, for the foreseeable future, especially in terms of the upcoming elections at this stage. His support has consolidated. There's a bit of fatigue about the impeachment talks as well. Recent polls have shown that fewer Americans are in favor of this process continuing. They just sort of want it to be over. So we don't really know what the short-term impact will be.
Right, that's what I wanted to ask you about, the possible impact on the 2020 election, because President Clinton, when he was impeached, it was in his second term, so he wasn't running for president again. When Andrew Johnson was impeached, it was in his first term, but then he failed to get the Democratic nomination, so left after his first term. Do you think it will have no impact or potentially give him more support leading into the election?
Honestly, it determines what's going to determine this, what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks and months, because House Speaker Pelosi still has to give the impeachment to the Senate, and they have to organize the trial, then they have to hold the trial, and then they have to vote in the Senate on what's going to happen. If Speaker Pelosi chooses not to release the impeachment for months at a time as it approaches the election, it might have a deeper impact, because it might give Democrats the opportunity to say to the electorate, oh, my opponent is supporting a president who has been impeached, and we're waiting to see what's going to happen for the trial. If Pelosi decides to release the impeachment sooner, then the trial could be over quite quickly and might not have any impact on the election at all.
Okay, not over yet. And if you were talking about impeachment fatigue, if it's still going on. All right, Sean Michael Cox, thank you very much.
Thank you.